You said yes. The number sat in front of you for 11 seconds. You took it. The meeting ended. You stood up. You shook the hand. You walked out, thinking you won something. You didn't. You just agreed to lose $1.4 million and call it a job. Level 1. Silence. You sat across from the hiring manager. She smiled. She said the number, 58,000. She paused the way people pause when they're testing you, when they're watching your face to see if the number landed well enough that you'll say yes before they have to defend it. The pause lasted 11 seconds. You didn't speak, you didn't ask, you didn't even tilt your head. You said the words people say when they think negotiation is a thing other people do. That sounds great, thank you, she said. Wonderful. She said, we look forward to having you. She closed the folder. The folder was already closed. You weren't negotiating, you were accepting. The two things look the same from the chair you're sitting in. They aren't. You drove home thinking you did it. You told your mother the number. She said, good for you. You said it was the top of the range. You said they came up from 55. You didn't ask how you knew that. They didn't tell you. The top of the range is a phrase hiring managers use when they don't want to keep negotiating. You believed them because you wanted to. That wanting is the most expensive thing you've ever done. Your first paycheck arrived 2 weeks later, $1,923 every 2 weeks after taxes. The number was smaller than the offer felt. The number was always going to be smaller. You didn't know that yet. You set up direct deposit. You opened the app. You watched the balance go up by $1,500 and felt something you called stability. It wasn't stability. It was the first deposit on a 30-year sentence you agreed to in 11 seconds. Level 2. The question you almost asked. 6 months in, you got a review. The manager said, excellent work. She said, we want to keep you. She said, there's a 3% raise coming in March. You nodded. You said thank you. You didn't ask how 3% was calculated. You didn't ask what the range was for your role. You didn't ask if 3% was the lowest number they were allowed to offer. You took it. 3% on 58 is 1,740. You thanked her for the 1,740 and walked out thinking you'd been recognized. You had been. Recognized as the person who wouldn't ask. The system saw you in that moment. The system filed you. The system moved on. A year later, your coworker didn't take the raise. She asked why it was 3%. She said she'd been at the company for 18 months. She said she had a competing offer at 64. She said she'd prefer to stay. The manager paused. The manager said, let me talk to HR. 2 days later, the offer came back. 7% raise, plus a $4,000 signing adjustment. Your coworker walked away with $8,060 a year more than you. Not because she was better, not because she worked harder, because she said the sentence you didn't. The sentence costs nothing to say. The silence costs everything. Level 3. The counter. 2 years in. You got an offer somewhere else. 71,000. A 22% jump. You sat with the number for a weekend. You were excited. You were also scared. You were scared of what your current manager would say. You were scared of what would happen if she said no. You told yourself the new place might be worse. You told yourself the grass isn't always greener. You told yourself the things people tell themselves when they're too afraid to use the only leverage they'll ever have. You declined the offer. You stayed. You got a 4% raise to keep you. The 4% cost the company $2,320. Replacing you would have cost them $35,000 in recruiting and onboarding. They knew this. You didn't. They paid you 4% because 4% was cheaper than losing you. You accepted 4% because 4% was more than nothing. Both of you were right. Both of you lost. Level 4. The competitor in the mirror. 3 years in. You finally asked. A recruiter reached out. 84,000. You went to your manager. You said you wanted to discuss compensation. You said you'd been approached. You said you wanted to stay but needed the number to make sense. The manager didn't flinch. The manager said, we value you. The manager said, let me get back to you. 4 days later, the offer was 78,000 plus a 15,000 retention bonus. You accepted. You walked out of the meeting feeling like you'd won a fight. You hadn't. You'd just gotten closer to the number that was always there. The number was always there. Every company has a range. The range has a midpoint. The midpoint is what they expect to pay. The floor is what they pay people who don't ask. You were on the floor for 3 years. The floor is not a career. The floor is a discount you agreed to. Level 5. The script. 5 years in. You stopped being nervous. You stopped rehearsing. You stopped treating the negotiation like a confrontation and started treating it like a conversation between two people who both want the same thing. You learned one sentence. The sentence is, I'm excited about this. I want to make this work. The number I need to say yes is 96. You didn't explain, you didn't apologize, you didn't justify. You said the number and waited. The first time you used the sentence, the HR person across from you didn't even blink. She said, let me check. She came back with 93. You said 96. She came back with 95. You said yes. The negotiation lasted 11 minutes. The previous negotiation lasted 11 seconds. The difference in compensation per year was 9,360. The difference in lifetime compensation, if you stay on this trajectory for 25 more years, including raises and bonuses, is between 380,000 and 540,000. None of that math is theoretical. All of that math is sitting in someone's retirement account right now, either yours or someone else's. Level 6. The anchor. You learned the second sentence. The sentence is, I have an offer at 105. I prefer the work here. I want to be fair to both of us. The sentence is not a lie. The sentence is a frame. The frame says, this is the market. This is what other people are paying. This is what it's going to cost you to keep me. The frame moves the conversation off your needs and onto theirs. They stop asking, can we afford this? They start asking, can we afford to lose this person? Those are different questions. Those are very different numbers. The HR rep on the other side of that sentence is trained. They're trained to deflect, to counter, to anchor low, to wait you out. They're trained because most people don't use the sentence. Most people say the first number they're given because they think that's what the conversation is. It isn't. The conversation is, what is this person willing to pay if I don't walk away? You will never know that number if you don't ask. The only way to find the number is to leave the room. Sometimes the room means leaving the building. Sometimes the room just means leaving the conversation. The number is the same. Level 7, the walk. You got an offer, 142,000. You went to your manager. You said the number. You said the truth. You said you're ready to stay for 145 plus equity refresh. Your manager said, let me get back to you. 3 days of silence. Day 4, a call. 140 plus a 30,000 equity grant. You said you needed 24 hours. 24 hours is the most expensive sentence in negotiation. It says, I have another option. It says, I'm not desperate. It says, I will not be moved by urgency. They knew. They called back in 18 hours. 145 plus the equity. You said yes. The 24 hours you asked for cost you 5,000. The 24 hours you used to wait cost you nothing. The company didn't want to lose you. The company had already budgeted 150 for your replacement. They had already decided what your absence would cost. They just hadn't decided to give it to you. You made them decide. Level 8, the partnership. You are 42. You make 215,000 base, plus equity, plus a bonus that hits between 40 and 60 most years. You are not the loudest person in the room. You are not the most aggressive. You are not the person who threatens to leave. You are the person who knows the number. You are the person who has done the math. You are the person who has had 3 offers in the last 4 years and didn't take any of them. The offers did the work. The offers told the market what you were worth. The market told your employer. Your employer came to the table. You sat at the table. You didn't fight. You didn't posture. You said the number. The number was fair. The number was what the work was worth. The number was the number you would have been earning for the last 15 years if you had known this one sentence at 24. I'm excited about this. I want to make this work. The number I need to say yes is 58. You are 24 again. You are sitting in the chair. The hiring manager is smiling. The number is in front of you. The pause is happening. The pause will last 11 seconds. The pause is not a silence. The pause is an invitation. The pause is the only invitation you'll ever get. The 11 seconds will determine the next 40 years of compounding raises, bonuses, retirement contributions, Social Security calculations, mortgage approvals, child support payments, And the small daily decisions you don't even think are financial yet. They will determine whether you retire at 62 or 67. They will determine the neighborhood you raise your kids in. They will determine whether one emergency doesn't tip the whole life over. They will determine what you say yes to without thinking and what you say no to with a smile. The system isn't broken. The system is working exactly the way it was built to. The system is built for the people who ask. The system is not built for the people who say thank you and call it a win. You are not underpaid because of your gender, your degree, your race, your city, your industry, although all of those move the number. You are underpaid because you haven't said the sentence. Say the sentence. The next 11 seconds are yours.